You've tuned into Stranger Than Fiction News, broadcasting live from the dark side of the planet. Tragedy strikes Thousand Oaks in California. Bullets went flying, a dozen people dead. Thoughts and prayers to the family. We're learning a little bit about the perpetrator. We're learning a little bit about the circumstances of this shooting. We're going to share with you what we can at this stage, but things are looking eerily similar to the Las Vegas Illuminati Massacre, and we're going to be getting into that in quite a bit of detail on our later broadcast. But right now there are a lot of similarities. We've got a witness on the scene that was actually at the Las Vegas Massacre, and he was saying that about 50 or 60 of his friends were in this club that were also at that shooting in Las Vegas. So it seems like there is quite a few people. We might play that clip right now for everyone if we can find it. We've got a lot of things that we've been looking at here. It looks like that every Wednesday night is college night over there. We saw that this particular facility really is country conservative. It's a country bar. And so mostly conservatives and Republicans were at this particular location. This location is just on the outskirts of Los Angeles, so deep behind enemy lines and enemy territory. Once again, we've got basically a conservative venue targeted by what's going to undoubtedly be some sort of leftist here. Now we're learning about Ian David Long, 28 years old. And there's a lot of mystery as far as what's going on there. Long track record with law enforcement. So the sheriff's department was called to his location just a few weeks ago, and they almost supposedly committed him for psychiatric reasons. That's usually the cover story. That's usually the kind of people the FBI likes to recruit. The counterintelligence division, which was the same division that we saw that had its murky fingers all into the Las Vegas Illuminati Massacre. So we're going to be following every little detail that we can. If you've got tips, send it our way into the inbox. Write us a message. We're going to be launching a Discord chat server here pretty soon. It's already up for Patreon members. We're letting everybody kind of find their way into that, and soon we'll be able to explore ideas 24/7 and not be at the risk of basically being censored or delisted by socialist media platforms. In any case, coming back to this story, we see a lot of similarities. It looks like there are survivors from the Las Vegas Illuminati Massacre, about 50 of them, that were at this venue, a country venue, to say the least. And that is the preliminary reports. Now, of course, this happened last night, California time. You've seen all the news reports. You've seen the footage. You've probably seen a lot of people questioning the authenticity of the witnesses. We're seeing a lot of the same faces show up in all of the interviews. There's a lot of questionable interviews that have been put out there. We're going to be covering that in detail in the later show on the Patreon. That's patreon.com/STF News. But right now we're starting to see, quite a bit of suspicious activity. This is going to be making people buzz. We were saying, they're not going to rock the boat until after the elections, and here comes, the Gladio B. Now, in Gladio B events, the victims are real. It's the motives that are suspicious. And of course, there's been quite a track record of Gladio B events in America since 9/11. And as much as the fake stream media, the enemy of the people, want to say everything is okay, we're not buying it. People aren't buying it. The Boston bombings was a clear example that there's something terribly wrong in this country, and they've always got links back to the FBI. And that's the thing that really started making us focus on Comey last year and McCabe, and everything that we found out about the FBI really tells us that it's basically the same FBI as the J. Edgar Hoover days, when they were going after Martin Luther King and were undoubtedly somehow responsible for his assassination, according to the civil trial in 1999. And in that civil trial, there was quite a few interesting witnesses talking about COINTELPRO and counterintelligence operations running in America for the benefit of certain political parties is nothing new. And undoubtedly, for the next couple of days, it's going to be like right after the Parkland shooting, which was nicely exposed as well. David Hogg was exposed, and a lot of people paid a price for exposing him. But in any case, this is going to end up being no different. And of course, the story on the side in the independent news outlets, it's going to be focusing on these links to Las Vegas and everything else that we can find about the shooter, which will undoubtedly be linked back to the FBI at one point in time or another. Just wait for it. It'll be there as sure as every other case. Oh yeah, he was on the FBI's radar 2 years ago, but they let him go, or 6 months ago and they let him go. This is classic. Most of the news outlets, or most of the news reports that we get of the FBI busting terror cells and the like, is the FBI going in, recruiting schizophrenics, giving them fake explosives, sending them out to do whatever the plan is, and then they come in and bust them, and they're like, aha, we got them. But it was entrapment from the beginning, and it's that recipe that enables them to find people to exercise their crimes of wickedness and violence on the American people. And here we've got more young people, conservatives, country music fans, that were targeted in a disgusting attack. And whether it be the meds, whether it be what's going on in California, or whether this be some kind of Gladio B event, this is not what should be happening in America right now. It is unacceptable, and it's unacceptable to such a point that obviously something must be done. And does that include reducing a little of the violence that we see in music and movies? They're so quick to pull content off the internet these days because they say it violates their community standards, yet they have no problem promoting the artists and the music labels and the movie industry that promotes the violence, that glorifies the violence, that allows this to become normal in our society. Not only that, but the video games that are out there that are desensitizing young people, inducing digital dementia. It is criminal. It is also criminal what is going on in the schools these days, the mass indoctrination, among other things, which degrades moral values, which allows people to become more susceptible to become mass killers. Something is happening to our young people. It's been happening since Columbine, and it isn't the guns that are the problem. The problem is Hollywood. The problem is NBC. The problem is the enemy of the people. The liberals, the Luciferians, the child molesters, they never stop, they never go away, and they're planning our destruction. They are planning the assimilation and extermination of mankind. And while that might seem a little unrelated to this particular extermination, it's all related, ladies and gentlemen. There is a method to their madness, and their madness will not end until we deport each and every one of these libtards. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be my platform when I run for Congress. I hope that I can have your support. In the meantime, like and share these broadcasts. Don't forget about Stranger Than Fiction News. Don't forget about all of the bombshell reports that we broke, over the internet, over the years. This stuff is real. Don't forget about yesterday. It's not your imagination. These people are really coming after you. And for the next few days, it'll be gun control. We need your guns, like the good little socialists that they are. They need your guns. They want your guns, because every genocide begins with gun control. If you look at the parallels between the socialists of today and the socialists of the 1930s, it's mind-boggling. We told you it was only going to be a matter of time before we started seeing Antifa going door to door, raiding people like the brown shirts of the 1930s. It's happening. Did you see the headlines with Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, and Coulter? Many others were doxxed by Antifa. They're now coming door to door. They're going to storm you and take you out like the new Jews that you are. And pay attention to the Crystal Night, to the ethnic cleansing, the purge that has happened on socialist media platforms. These acts of socialism are not random. They're targeted, and we're the fucking target. So, as much as we want to love these people and get along with these people will never stop until, their terror becomes the law of the land, until their tyranny becomes the law of the land. Don't ignore history, or else history will repeat itself with vengeance, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, when you look at the parallels between the socialists of 1930s Germany, of course, Nazi means Socialist Workers' Party. If you look at the parallels between the liberals back then in Germany and the liberals today in California and Washington, D.C., you'll see that they have a lot in common. Book burning, beating people up, inciting hate and violence. You've got Hillary saying, oh, we can't be civil. You've got Nancy Pelosi, let's punch them. Eric Holder, let's kick them. You starting to get the picture? These people mean to enact violence. We've got Hillary on record saying that she wants to throw people in an internment camp. What's it going to take for people to understand what is coming here? Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be doom. It's going to be doom, and we have an opportunity to stop this before it's too late. So far, right now, breaking news, Ian David Long, suspected shooter of this borderline bar and grill in Thousand Oaks, horrible loss of life. Many young people, mostly conservatives and Republicans, targeted at a college night, type of gathering out there in a bar and grill, and this attack is starting to look very suspicious.
Once we made it up the hill, we heard the second time.
Every Wednesday.
We got fire break out a second time?
Yeah.
And
This young woman's hand right here, this is the mark. I assume they make that when you go in the door, right?
Yeah.
So
This is a very
I'm not sure if you're able to hear that interview. We might have to boost the volume for the main show here, but it looks like there's a lot of coaching, some scripting here. We're seeing the same people show up in the news articles giving their account. We've got a lot of suspicious things going on here. I guess it's really easy to criticize, character witnesses, but honestly, there's a lot of things to look at. We've seen a lot of videos already of witnesses where things just don't seem right, and so we're going to be getting into that in this evening's broadcast, which is going to be at 5:30 Eastern on the Patreon. It's $5 a month, unlimited access, 2 shows a day, Sunday through Thursday, access to all new content and all of the old content, and we've been doing this now for 3 months, since the Crystal Night, since the Purge, from socialist media platforms. So if you want to check out the rest of the story, what we've discovered, what we will discover on this topic and many others, be sure to check us out, patreon.com/STF News. Be on the lookout for the Discord. We're going to start releasing that server or that link for the nonstop chat with the STFN community on Monday. Patreon, we're starting that today in kind of like a beta form, but it's all set, looking good, and we're going to be running shows in tandem with that, as well as other festivities. So be on the lookout for the Discord. Check out the patreon.com/STF News. We still got the websites, stfnreport.com, stfnews.com. These socialist media platforms are going to be a little bit more active right now. So check us out. We should have like real short videos every day talking about this, that, and the other. In any case, looks like a Gladio B event. Victims are real, but the circumstances are still yet undefined. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this,